Maximus is a highly skilled general who has never lost a battle. After a victorious campaign, he requests permission from Emperor Marcus Aurelius to return home temporarily to be with his family. Emperor Marcus has a son named Commodus, who grows increasingly jealous of the attention and respect his father constantly gives Maximus. The emperor, recognizing Commodus' immaturity, decides not to appoint him as his successor. Instead, Marcus chooses Maximus to lead and protect the Roman Empire after his death. When Commodus learns of his father's decision, he kills Marcus in a fit of rage and seizes the throne for himself. He attempts to recruit Maximus as a loyal subordinate, but Maximus refuses. Commodus, furious at the rejection, orders Maximus to be arrested and his family executed. Maximus escapes his captors and rides desperately to save his family, but he arrives too late. His wife and son have already been brutally murdered, and their village is in ruins. Grief-stricken and wounded, Maximus buries his loved ones before collapsing from exhaustion. He is soon captured by slave traders, who sell him to Proximo, a gladiator trainer. Despite his injuries, Maximus is forced to train as a gladiator. The next day, he and Proximo's other fighters participate in a brutal match against another group of gladiators. Thanks to Maximus' exceptional combat skills, his group emerges victorious. Maximus earns a reputation for his unmatched prowess in combat and begins to dominate local gladiator tournaments, gaining fame under the nickname Spaniard. Meanwhile, Commodus organizes a massive 150-day series of gladiatorial games to honor his late father and strengthen his own popularity among the Roman public. Hearing about the Grand Games in Rome, Proximo reveals to Maximus that he was once a gladiator himself. He explains that he won his freedom by earning the admiration of the public through his victories. Proximo encourages Maximus to follow a similar path, win over the people, and ultimately secure his freedom. Maximus befriends Juba, an African gladiator who, unlike Maximus, still has a family waiting for him to return home. Alongside Proximo's gladiators, Maximus travels to Rome, where they are awestruck by the city's grand architecture and immense arenas. Commodus has a sister named Lucilla, a widow with a young son, Lucius. She was once romantically involved with Maximus, though their relationship ended long ago. The following day, the gladiators enter the arena, armed and ready to face their opponents. The crowd is vast, with Emperor Commodus, Lucilla, and Lucius among the spectators. The games begin with charioteers storming into the arena, attacking the gladiators with arrows and weapons. Though the charioteers initially have the upper hand, Maximus leads the gladiators in a courageous counterattack, ultimately defeating all their enemies. Commodus, impressed yet irritated by the skill of the Spaniard, becomes curious about his identity. When Maximus sees Commodus in the audience, he struggles to contain his rage, as this is the man responsible for his family's death. However, he notices Lucius nearby and refrains from acting impulsively. Commodus questions Maximus' name, but Maximus only identifies himself as a gladiator, refusing to reveal his true identity. When Commodus insists that Maximus remove his helmet and disclose who he truly is, Maximus has no choice but to comply. He boldly declares his name as Maximus Decimus Meridius, a loyal servant to the late Emperor Marcus Aurelius. He publicly accuses Commodus of murdering his own father to seize the throne. The crowd, witnessing this confrontation, sides with Maximus. Commodus, humiliated and unable to act against the people's support for Maximus, grudgingly allows him to leave the arena unharmed. As night falls, Lucilla approaches Maximus, proposing that he join her in opposing her brother, Commodus. However, Maximus refuses and firmly tells her never to seek him out again, sending her away. Commodus shoots some soldiers with arrows and blinds them as punishment for betraying him by letting Maximus escape and lying to him that Maximus is dead. Refusing to admit defeat, Commodus arranges a new fight, pitting Maximus against the undefeated champion, the legendary Tigress of Gaul, in a highly anticipated battle. During the fight, Maximus is knocked to the ground multiple times. As he struggles, trained tigers tethered by chains are released, lunging at him. Maximus manages to evade the tigers at first, but one eventually attacks him. In a desperate struggle, Maximus kills the tiger with his dagger. Meanwhile, Tigress relentlessly assaults him, but Maximus fights back, severely injuring his opponent by stabbing him in the leg. Though victorious, Maximus spares Tigress's life instead of delivering the killing blow, earning even greater admiration from the Roman crowd. The spectators chant Maximus's name, further fueling his reputation and Commodus's growing resentment. Guards block Maximus from leaving the arena, and Commodus taunts him about the death of his family, attempting to provoke him. Maximus, however, maintains his composure and walks out alive. Later, Maximus reconnects with Cicero, his former orderly, and learns that his old legion in Ostia remains loyal to him. Determined to overthrow Commodus, Maximus sends Cicero to enlist Lucilla's help in the plot. That evening, Maximus secretly meets with Lucilla and Senator Gracchus. They agree to aid Maximus in escaping Rome and reuniting with his former legion to lead a rebellion against Commodus. 2 days later, Praetorian guards arrest Gracchus for conspiring against the emperor. That night, Lucilla helps Maximus escape, and they share a heartfelt goodbye kiss, rekindling the bond they once shared. However, Commodus grows suspicious of Lucilla's actions after overhearing Lucius, her son, unintentionally reveal clues about her involvement in a conspiracy.
Would you rather be a great Roman warrior like Julius Caesar?
Maximus, the savior of Rome!
Commodus orders an attack on the Gladiator barracks, sending his guards to crush any resistance. Proximo, Juba, and the other gladiators fight valiantly, sacrificing themselves to buy Maximus time to escape. Maximus flees through underground tunnels, but is ambushed at the rendezvous point where Cicero awaits. Commodus's soldiers kill Cicero, leaving Maximus with no option but to surrender. Knowing he cannot defeat Maximus in strength, Commodus devises a cunning plan. Before their final duel, he wounds Maximus, concealing the injury under his armor to ensure his opponent is weakened. In front of the Roman people, Commodus challenges Maximus to a fight, believing the staged battle will secure his victory. Despite his injuries, Maximus fights courageously, disarming Commodus. With his sword flung aside, Commodus demands another weapon from his guards, but they defy his orders. Desperate, Commodus pulls a hidden dagger from his sleeve and attacks Maximus. Maximus, summoning the last of his strength, turns the blade against Commodus, killing him. The crowd erupts in cheers for Maximus, celebrating his triumph. Mortally wounded, Maximus begins to drift into the afterlife, where he envisions reuniting with his family. Before succumbing to his injuries, he orders the release of prisoners and restores power to the Senate, ensuring the future of Rome. Lucilla bids him a tearful farewell as Maximus collapses and takes his final breath. His spirit crosses over to join his wife and son in the afterlife, finally finding peace.